turtles! Today is the first day of May. Happy spring! I have a new fruit of the Spirit for us since it is May now. Our new fruit of the Spirit is gentleness. Let's see what our fruit of the Spirit book has to say about gentleness. When I hug and don't push, or talk and don't yell, when I whisper, that stinks, and I don't scream, that smells. When I rub and don't hit, leaving bruises to see, God's gentleness is what you will see in me. So what does gentleness mean? Gentleness is a lot like kindness because you're being nice, but it also means that you're being calm and soft, kind of moving slowly. That's to be gentle. To be physically gentle with one another, to be careful not to hurt somebody. And that's the same with our words. If you remember our lesson about cotton ball words and sandpaper words are not gentle, but cotton ball words, soft things, that's gentleness. In the Bible, we see a lot of kings who are not so gentle. So we're going to read some stories about that to kind of reflect on. We're going to start with this story called Bad Kings. For many years, the people of Israel ignored all of the warnings Jeremiah gave them. Instead of turning back to God, both the people and their kings, one after another, continued in their cruel and selfish ways. Of course, God was angry with them. Just as Jeremiah had warned, he sent powerful armies against his own people. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylonia, ordered his soldiers to destroy the temple of Jerusalem, taking many people prisoner. God didn't enjoy punishing his people. He desperately wanted to give them a chance to love him again and avoid more suffering. By now, Jeremiah was quite an old man. God sent him to visit the king of Israel, who was called Zedekiah. Jeremiah pleaded with Zedekiah to lead the Israelites back to God, but he didn't listen. Jeremiah tried to warn the king that God was still angry with his people and that there would be more destruction if they continued in their wickedness. But Zedekiah ignored Jeremiah. Nothing changed. Nebuchadnezzar's Babylonian army marched again on Jerusalem, setting up camp around the city's walls. They would not let people in or out, and they would not let food supplies into the city. Soon the people of Jerusalem would begin to starve. One night, Zedekiah and many of his soldiers managed to escape, but Nebuchadnezzar hunted them down, killing some and taking others prisoner, including the king. The Babylonian army entered Jerusalem, where they burned down the temple, the royal palace, and many homes. They took all the healthier, skillful people to serve them back in Babylon. Jerusalem had suffered so much destruction, there was nothing left. Many people remaining there fled to Egypt. Jeremiah had told the Israelites that this would happen. He had warned them. Why didn't they listen to me? Asked Jeremiah. Why didn't they return to their God? Jeremiah's heart ached for Zedekiah, the king of Israel, and his people, so he wrote them this letter. Work hard and pray for those who imprison you. Marry and have children so that you will increase in number. In 70 years you will search for me with all your heart. I will answer your prayers. I will return to you your land and give you all that you hope for. Your people who were left behind in Jerusalem will suffer war, starvation, and disease. People around the world will be horrified by what happens to them. I, the Lord, have spoken. Zedekiah tore up the letter and threw it in a fire. Jeremiah wept for him. So in this story, All of these kings have turned their back on God, and they've led their people to do the same. They were warned by Jeremiah that they needed to change their ways and they needed to follow the rightful God, and they continued not to do so. Jeremiah's letter to the king Zedekiah is essentially offering God's gentleness, God's gentle promise to lead them and help them prosper, to take care of his people. And instead, this bad king, who is not a gentle man, just completely says no. He throws the letter in the fire and just kind of refutes this, which leads to more suffering. And it's kind of a sad story. Next week, we'll talk a little bit more about our gentlest king, Jesus Christ, who God sent for us to deliver us from our sins and to make the world a better place. And Jesus did a lot of really gentle, caring, calm, and soft acts. He spoke a lot of cotton ball words, and I'm really excited to share all of that with y'all next week. Have a great weekend, guys.